Welcome to the weekly energy update for August 2nd. Have you found yourself replaying old conversations lately or reflecting on decisions that you've made? Maybe you're thinking about a chapter of your life that you thought was finished. And if so, you are not alone. This week's landscape begins by inviting us to look back, not to live in the past, but to understand it more deeply. And by the end of the week, something shifts. Reflection begins turning into direction. So let's explore why. The Human Design Sun Transit begins the week in Gate 33. This is often called the Gate of Reflection. And I love this energy because it reminds us that not all progress looks like moving forward. Sometimes progress does look like finally understanding something that we've carried for so long. You might notice memories resurfacing or conversations coming back to mind, or suddenly you're seeing an old conversation from a completely different perspective. And rather than asking, why am I thinking about this again? Perhaps ask, what is this experience trying to teach me now that I wasn't able to understand before? And on August 6th, the sun is going to move into Gate 7. And this is where the landscape begins to change, because the week is asking us in the beginning to gather wisdom, but at the end, it's asking us to decide where we're going with that wisdom. So Gate 7 is often associated with leadership. But before we lead anyone else, we are asked to lead ourselves. So this is about choosing our direction. And we need to choose that direction consciously instead of simply reacting to life. And of course, the moon is right here echoing the same story, because early in the week, we're still nurturing the intentions that we planted during the full moon. And then we're going to arrive at the third quarter moon on August 6th. And this is often when intentions are starting to come forward because we're releasing. And this is a really interesting piece, because as we release, we're noticing, what is it that I am getting rid of so that I can make room for what I want to bring forward. In the Mayan calendar, we're actually going to be going through different themes each day. And so the energies are going to invite communication and growth, tapping into our instinct, transformation, and balance. And I like to think of them as different windows through which we can observe our experience. So each day is asking us, what quality of awareness would serve me today? And sometimes simply asking that question changes how we meet the day. And of course, we had a very special beginning to the month, because yesterday was Lanasa, the first harvest festival. And harvests don't appear overnight. They are the result of many small moments of care that often go unnoticed. So take a moment this week to ask yourself, what in my life is beginning to bear fruit? It may not be something dramatic. Maybe it's just a little patience, or maybe a little more confidence, a healthier relationship, or simply a quieter mind than you had a few months ago. And then we're going to wrap up this week's energy with August 8th, Lionsgate. This is a beautiful time to reflect, because Lionsgate invites us to reconnect with courage and purpose and heart. It is a beautiful companion to the Gate 7. Both are going to ask us to move forward, not from fear or pressure, but from a deep sense of alignment with who we are. So when we step back and look at everything unfolding this week, one question keeps coming to mind. What if looking back isn't keeping you stuck? What if it is preparing you to move forward differently? Sometimes we need to revisit an old memory, not because we failed, not because we didn't heal it, but because we've grown enough to understand it from a new perspective. And if that is your experience this week, maybe trust it. There might be wisdom that's waiting there for you. And by the end of the week, you may also discover that what first looked like reflection was actually preparation. So, as you travel this week, as you go through the days ahead, you might like to carry these questions with you. What memory or experience keeps returning to my awareness? And what might it be asking me to understand differently? And maybe, if you're ready, what small step forward feels possible now that I have that understanding? So all the best for the week to come.